The winners of the Joburg Film Festival are set to be announced this evening at the Nelson Mandela Square in Sandton. The festival has been running from Tuesday at various locations across the city, showcasing some of the finest films from over 35 countries across the globe. Newzroom Afrika's Paul Sitola is there to tell us more. Paul, how long before the event gets underway?
Well, Hugo, various events are lined up before the actual event gets underway. Of course, guests will be welcomed any moment from now. Right behind me, the guests will be walking, of course, dressed to the nines. The creme de la creme will be walking on the gold carpet, of course, referencing the city of gold. To tell us more about some of the expectations this evening is Laura Utian, who is the Marketing and Communications Manager of the Joburg Film Festival, giving us some insight on some of the expectations and the processes and how those will unfold this evening. Laura, thank you so much for your time. An incredible evening lined up. Winners will be announced within the next few hours. In terms of the importance of a film festival such as this, I mean, we have the likes of the Toronto Film Festival, we've heard of the Berlin Film Festival. How important was it to ensure that the positioning and the branding of the Joburg Film Festival is delivered in such an eloquent manner?
So film festivals are so important in the film industry, and especially within the African environment. There's very few on the continent that really are premier festivals, and the idea of the Joburg Film Festival really is to be our stories are our gold, and that is linked obviously to the city of Joburg and its history and ties to gold. But not only that, it's about really embracing the South African and the African identity of this festival. And most festivals like Toronto or Cannes or Berlin, they're associated with their host city. And one of the aims of this festival also is to promote Joburg as a destination for filming, for film location, for cultural tourism, because Joburg really is a multicultural melting pot for Africa. And one of the other key messages of this festival is where storytellers come together. And that's really been something as well, inviting filmmakers and storytellers from all over the world who've all converged here for 1 week. And as you said, tonight it culminates where we celebrate the best of the best and award excellence in filmmaking and storytelling.
Yeah, where storytellers come together, I mean, that's quite significant, especially considering the impact of COVID-19 and the business of the industry having to continue after the bashing of the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, the film industry globally was it was a huge blow. Filmmaking is by definition an activity where people have to be together. So I mean, this is the first Joburg Film Festival since the pandemic. Many festivals are sort of re-welcoming, reopening, and part of what a festival is all the film screenings, and it's the celebration of film on screen, but there's also the very important business gatherings that happen around it. So part of this year's event was the JBX Content Market, and that was really where the business and the Joburg Film Festival industry program, and that's where the business of film happens. And these events are really important because they bring together filmmakers with each other, also with potential investors, distributors, buyers, all the different role players in the film industry come together. And there's only so much of that kind of face-to-face engagement and deal-making that you can do online, because the real magic happens when you meet someone and you're sitting and it looks like everyone's, at cocktail parties and it's all glamorous, and it is. That's part of the industry. But often what's going on there are people connecting, making deals. The week afterwards they're on the phone and they're doing a deal together, and that's how any industry works. So we've been so excited that also to have so many filmmakers in attendance. We've had filmmakers attending their films, doing Q&As. They've had the opportunity to meet. And it's just been wonderful, both in terms of the screening side and the business and industry program, which also includes skills, workshops and upliftment. So then you're also enabling filmmakers at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of the running order this evening, we spoke, you and I, off air about the significance of the gold carpet, of course, referencing the city of gold. As soon as guests start trickling in, what sort of processes will happen before we then get to learn of the final grand winners?
So there will be the networking and socializing, obviously. We've got some live music, and we've had live music throughout the week. I think film is also a celebration of the creative, and music is part of that. So they'll get to enjoy some music. Then they'll be taken into Theatre on the Square, where there'll also be another performance that's been specially choreographed, a dance performance, and then we get into the exciting announcements of the awards. And then after that, the guests will come back out into this beautiful structure that's been created on Nelson Mandela Square, again for some live music and to enjoy the rest of the evening.
You make reference to the importance of the networking. I mean, how significant will that be throughout the course of this evening, of course, perhaps throughout the course of the week, when it comes to introducing new players within the industry, young filmmakers, creatives, really hoping to make their mark and stand out within the film landscape?
Yeah, I think that's so important. And I mean, one of the acknowledgements, one of the awards that's going to be given tonight is called Young Voices. And the Joburg Film Festival has been running a program. It started way back in September last year, the Youth and Audience Development Program, that sees workshops, 2-day workshops around acting, directing, producing, taking place in the 5 regions of Gauteng, really targeting young, emerging filmmakers who've got no experience necessarily at all. And we did a call out for any young filmmaker in South Africa, actually, to send in a short film. And there was one winner that was selected, and he'll be here this evening, or he or she, I should say, will be here this evening, and will collect their award. And what an opportunity to be showcased for your first, little film made on a camera, made on a phone camera, and to be able to get acknowledged in front of global industry peers. So youth and audience development are key elements of the festival. So on the one side, it's about that networking between filmmakers. But again, also, I think the audience development is really important, is to grow the culture of going to the cinema, of celebrating films and filmmakers, not just, we all love actors and celebrities and stars. But the festival is also really around celebrating the filmmakers, the storytellers that enable those beautiful films, like the cinematographers, the editors, that enable the stars to look so good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Of course, Laura Utium there, giving us a sense of what we can expect this evening, and also giving us a broader picture, really, of the significance of the Joburg Film Festival and the storytellers that come together and celebrate the industry, speaking about the event being more than just the celebrities, more than just the glitz and glam, but the work that goes behind it, the creatives that put it all together. And of course, we will, throughout the course of this evening, be bringing you more from the Joburg Film Festival as the guests of the gold carpet will be walking in just a short while, and we will be here to give you those live developments. But news doesn't stop on that end of the desk with Hugo Rebatika, bringing you more in just a bit. Don't go away.